Hey guys, Video James, and this is how to use Heracross. Heracross is probably one of the better bug Pokemon. He's up there among the ranks of Scizor and Pheromosa, I would say. He is actually kind of good, and he, ironically, does have the same type as Pheromosa, even though her speed is ungodly compared to her Heracross's. And if you didn't know, Heracross is one of the only Mega Evolutions to actually receive a downfall in his stats, and later on that does kind of end up biting him in the rear end. But anyway, when we look at Heracross, bug fighting. Oshi, so that means we're going to get that weakness to Flying, Psychic, and Fairy. Along with Fire. I forgot Fire has a weakness. Although we will be losing our weakness to Rock, actually, because Rock will no longer have as much of an effect. And I forget what else Bug is super affected by. I think, don't quote me on this, I think Bug is super affected by Steel. Or not Steel, Ice. So we might be losing our super affected by Ice. But then when we look at Heracross, we do have a move pool that kind of counters those weaknesses, that we've got Rock-type moves, Bug-type moves, and, of course, Fighting-type moves. So we're easily going to be hitting back a lot of stuff. And when we look at his abilities, we see he's got Swarm, basic bug ability, just get more attack, well, more bug power when your HP is below 1/3. We have Guts, which is an extremely good ability. We all know it works well on Swellow, it works well on Flareon, it works well on what else has Guts? I think Mightyena might? No, not Mightyena, what else has Guts? I'm thinking of something. There's literally a Pokemon in my head that I can think of right now that has Guts. But I can't think of the name. What is it? I keep thinking it's Linoone, but it can't be Linoone. No. Anyway. And then we see his hidden ability is Moxie. So that's actually kind of scary on a Heracross, to be honest. That with Moxie, we're going to be seeing if this thing gets its attack, we're going to need to be running out of this place. We're going to need to hashtag run. And then, as we do see, Heracross got that Mega Evolution, which means there will be a stat buff later. And then, looking into its move pool, we see stuff like Arm Thrust, Bullet Seed, Night Slash. And actually, with Arm Thrust now, Heracross does actually gain an advantage because Arm Thrust hits 5 times, meaning you'll be able to get all 5 attacks off an Arm Thrust and reach at least 60% damage. And then we've got stuff like Aerial Ace, Brick Break, Pin Missile, and then we've just got 2 of the most broken moves ever, Mega Horn and Close Combat. Those are, like I said, 2 of the most broken moves ever. And then we got stuff like Bulk Up, we got Toxic, we actually do have Venoshock, which is a little odd to see on a Heracross, because when you look at this thing, you wouldn't think any special moves. I mean, maybe Hyper Beam. Most definitely hidden power, because everything is hidden power. But other than that, you really wouldn't expect to see anything on a Heracross that's special. And then we got Protect, we get Smackdown, Earthquake, Brick Break and Aerial Ace again. We do get Thief, we get False Swipe, Brutal Swing, Shadow Claw, Stone Edge, Rock Slide, we get Substitute, and then when we see the egg moves, we got, again, Mega Horn, we got Rock Blast, we got Seismic Toss, we have Revenge, which kind of works out well since we're a slower Pokemon. And then, seeing in the transfer moves, we got stuff like Rock Smash, okay, not that great. Iron Defense, okay, if you want to run a setup. Knockoff, which is OP as all heck. I do actually think that Knockoff should not have been limited to Oris because it is that OP of a move. And yet, I also think that might have been the reason why Knockoff was limited to Oris. And then we get stuff like Low Kick to take care of those heavier Pokemon. Vacuum Wave, never really seen the point behind it. And then looking at Heracross's stats, we can see he's actually kind of a tank. Though we've got the 80 in the HP, meaning we can get to 364 with max investment. And then we just got 125 attacks, so this boy said yeet. And we got 75 in the defense, 95 in the special defense, and 85 in the speed, with us having that 40 Bismal for the attack, rounding us out to almost 500. which makes us 100 lower than a Hydreigon. So to think that we're that close to a Hydreigon and we're probably tankier, a little bit scary there. And then we see in his Mega Evolution, he gets the Skill Link ability, which means moves that attack twice will always hit 5 times. And we see same type, so he's still getting the same weaknesses. And then we see this man's attack goes up to 185. That's higher than a Pheromosa's speed. I think that's even where a Deoxys reaches attack level. And then we see the HP didn't change. I don't really think there's actually any Mega Evolution that changes HP. We've got 115 in the defense, so that received a major buff. We've got 40 in the special attack still, 105 in special defense, and we're actually losing speed, going down from 85 to 75. And then when we hop on over into Showdown, just go ahead and ignore the other tabs for now. I've been trying to catch up on a lot of YouTube, because I've been missing a lot, because I had to work on a whole bunch of crap. I had to get my YouTube uploaded, and I had to go to my grandma's house for that one time, so I haven't really been able to catch up on much. But then we see the first set, Basic Sweep. Basic just want to outspeed, want to get rid of everything. Guts, not really the right ability that should be there. That should be the Moxie ability. There we go. So the idea behind this set is to just outspeed them for damage and then get the attack off. That when we look at its EVs, Heracross doesn't really get much in the way of speed. That even with max investment and a nature, we're only going to be hitting 295. But with that Choice Scarf, we will actually... Sorry, hold on a sec. Face itches. But with that Choice Scarf, giving our speed an extra 1.5... Nose! Will you go away? Nose itches. That with the Choice Scarf, we'll actually be receiving a 1.5 bonus, and we'll be going up to 295, plus... What's half 295? 148? 148, I think, would be the boost. I'm pretty sure. So that'd be bringing us up to 430-something speed, meaning Heracross can just run over everything. And then we see the moveset, just absolute damage for game. That we've got Knock Off, get the damage, and get rid of an item at the same time. We've got Mega Horn, just for that 120, plus the Stab, plus the Moxie. We're just going to be an unkillable tank. That we've got Close Combat, just for that fighting damage, and that high damage. And then we've got Earthquake, just to deal with other stuff. That with Earthquake, we're getting rid of a lot of stuff. And you could run Rock Slide instead of Earthquake. I personally would swap in between the two, just because Rock Slide and Earthquake kind of even matched, not in power, but in effects. And then we move on to the second Heracross set. This is a Facade set. Wait, where's the Facade? Where's the Facade? No, don't you freaking dare. Oh, Showdown, you're going to kill me today, and I'm going to kill you later today, because I need you alive for this video. Even though you will not be alive for later, because I will end up having to call Amazon because they've been having more problems. Yeah, it's unbelievable how many problems you have with Amazon devices. Actually, it's unbelievable how many problems you have with any device. I'm surprised people still keep making them. But then, like I said, this is meant to be a Facade set. That we've got the Flame Orb and we've got the Guts. So, if you don't know, Flame Orb gives your own Pokemon a burn, or gives whatever Pokemon's holding it a burn. And Guts gives you a 1.5 attack boost with a status condition. Yes, 1.5 attack boost with a status condition. So that's a little OP. That with the Flame Orb plus the Guts, we're hitting... Oh dear God, we're hitting like 100 plus... We're hitting like 510 in that attack. Oh God, I just realized that. That's scary. And then we've got the Bulk Up. Oh God. No, that's not okay. But anyway, we got the Bulk Up just because this set's kind of a little bit tanky, even though it probably shouldn't be. But we've got the Bulk Up just to raise our attack and defense, make us a little bit stronger, and then give us that turn to get the Flame Orb and Guts off. And then we just got Facade, power doubles when you get a burn or a status. So that's bringing it from a 70 to a 140. And then we got Close Combat and Megahorn again, just for that damage, because Heracross runs over everything. Heracross should just be called Run Across. Ayy. I just realized I made a pun there. Ayy. Anyway, we see that we've got also a setup for Heracross, which is kind of odd. You wouldn't expect to see a setup on Heracross. Oh, I forgot the nature for this. And this one. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I forgot the IVs and nature for this one. The IVs for the first set are just max out the attack, the speed, throw on a Jolly Nature, and then give him the HP bonus. And then, for the second one, we've got just Impish Nature, raise the defense, max out the HP and the attack. I'm sorry, I hate when I do this. It is one of the stupidest moments I ever have in my existence. I really hate it. I'm sorry, I hate when this happens. And I realize I should just move on instead of rambling about it, but sometimes humans can't move on. And anyway, with this set, we basically just got Leftovers, Moxie, and then Bulk Up, Rest, Sleep Talk, Megahorn. You can already see where this is going. So, we got the Bulk Up, get that attack and defense raise, because with this Heracross set, we're not going to really be relying too much on just brute strength, that we're going to take a little bit of setup. And then we get the Rest for heal, because we will be taking a lot of damage. Then we get the Sleep Talk, just in case we go rest and we need to use another move, that we can get either Bulk Up or Megahorn and just be okay. And then the Leftovers is just there for a small bit of health recovery if we're going up against something that's not really too easy to damage us, or we're just taking minor damage from something like hail or something. And then, looking at this thing's stats, max out the HP, max out the special defense, and throw on a Careful Nature. I think that's careful. Yes, careful. And then, moving on to the Mega sets, we see that Mega gets insane with the attack. I think this is more attack than a... This is more attack than a Guzzlord's HP. Nope. But anyway, we see this Heracross set, we see the Skill Link ability, so we know we're going to be able to make moves like Bullet Seed and Close Combat, or not Close Combat, Pin Missile useful. So, we see we've got those on, we've got Pin Missile and Rock Blast, as well as Close Combat and Knockoff, that with Pin Missile and Rock Blast being 5 times hit moves, they actually have more damage than the other moves on a Heracross set. So, we throw those on immediately just for that damage, plus the Skill Link. And then we get Close Combat just for that fighting damage, and because there's not really a fighting type move that hits more than once except for Arm Thrust, and that doesn't really do that much when we look at its power. And we just got Knockoff for the get rid of that item, that if we come across something like a Toxapex or something like that, we say, oh, hey, that's an item. Flick, gone. And then moving on, the final Heracross set. Did I give the EVs for this? No, I didn't. Going back to the second to final Heracross set, we just max out the HP and attack again because, as we saw with the Mega, the speed is going to go down, so now we're not really going to be able to outspeed anything, which is sad day for Heracross. But anyway, for the second to last Heracross set, just max out the HP, max out the attack, and throw on the Adamant Nature just to get that damage. Just to say, go away, thank you very much, I do not want you here. And now, we're actually moving on. Moving on to the actual Heracross set. For the final one, we see we got kind of a setup Mega. That we've got Substitute, just because now that we're a little bit tankier, we can risk taking those hits. That we've got Toxic, just to wear him down slowly as we're just sitting there. And then we got Pin Missile and Earthquake for damage. That, with this set, Close Combat could be run, but it's not a good idea because you want this set to be tank. That, with this set having Substitute and Toxic, most sets like that do end up having to be tank instead of sweep, unless you have high HP and high speed. Then you can just throw out a Substitute, take damage from the HP, and still survive. And like I said, Skill Link ability, just make use of that Pin Missile, get the 125. And then for this Heracross, just max out the HP and the special defense, and throw on the Impish Nature. And that's basically it for Heracross. That's a lot of ways to run one bug. That's more than a Furoromosa, and that thing's killed more Pokemon than a Heracross. Anyway, I'm leaving this video here. Again, I'm sorry that I missed the EVs and IVs and all that. I really do hate when I do that just because it doesn't seem like I'm being as committed to this as I should, which I really don't want to give off as the general perception of me, because I am trying my hardest when I make these videos. I am trying to do as much as I possibly can and sound as clear as possible and just give as much information as I can, or if I'm making a Let's Play, just make it as entertaining as possible. So sometimes I'll end up forgetting to say something. So again, please forgive, I am trying here. I'm trying to remember this stuff, but like I said, sometimes it's hard. Anyway, that's going to be it for how to use Heracross. If you guys liked this video, you can go ahead and slap the like button as always, and I will see you guys later.